Shalom. This is an emergency broadcast alert giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Bahashim Rakagadash, in whom we are in great debt. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, continue doing so, standing firm in the eyes of Terah, who are lenders true from. To the elders, the bishops, Akim and Aquab, salutations and blessings to the house of David. We are the hopeful elect at GMS. This is your brother Quasi with a very quick one, actually. Edomites, so-called white man, you're done. It's finally here for you. Why I'm saying that? Because while so-called black community was complaining about their water being poisoned, and the Native American cattle was dying on one side of the land, because here's Esau, living it up, and the on the other side of things, let's put it that way, because there was an environmental issue that was been going on for decades, and it was it was affecting Jakes mostly, and the cattle and ranchers, that little ranchers, not big, because the Native American don't have a lot, but they still have they had their own. They had their own until they decided they needed it for other things, and so now that Esau, Edom, so-called whites are being affected, now is a problem. Now there's a problem.
Causing concern in a North Oklahoma community. On Oklahoma Chronicle, KOCO investigates. And he's a former state senator and finance guru gunning for the top job in Oklahoma politics. Why Mike Mazie says he's the Republican choice for Oklahoma.
But people's lives are being affected by this.
We're doing something a little bit different on this week's Oklahoma Chronicle. A KOCO5 investigation in northern Oklahoma. Black dust has coated homes, cars, streets across Ponca City. The situation raising new fears about pollution and possible health risks.
Fast forwarded to the nitty gritty. Fast forward. Let me see.
What would you tell someone who knows
so much for that? Okay.
Back in the air.
All across a quiet Oklahoma town.
We noticed that our pets had come in and they were covered in this black debris.
A mysterious black dust is appearing all across.
Oh, Lord.
Ponca City.
It wasn't dirt. It was just black like coal.
Cars, tables, even playgrounds covered in the substance.
We've gone to pick up our granddaughter from school, and
so these guys are worrying about their stuff, while Jake is dying, literally falling off for decades from cancer, and the Native American also. And now that they're being affected,
looks like she's come out of a coal mine, from playing on the playground.
But complaints from residents in Ponca City say the substance is not a mystery after all.
And a lot of these people didn't know what it was at first. When I seen it, I knew exactly what it was.
It's carbon black.
Carbon black is a fine, powdery substance primarily used to make tires. Signs of it are all over town, literally.
On the house, you can say it's dust, but on this, you can't say it's dust.
Carla Moulton has lived in Ponca City for decades. In 2024, she noticed a black soot on her dog's paws and covering her metal garage.
I told my husband about it, and he said, well, file a complaint with DEQ.
She was one of at least 22 residents who filed complaints with the Oklahoma Department of Environmental Quality over the last 2 years. These complaints point to a source of the dust, the Continental Carbon plant south of town. But this isn't the first time Continental Carbon has been in the hot seat.
What do we want? Clean air!
You see what happens right here? All Jake. But now is a problem. This was in 2002. You see it right there? Now is a problem. Hey, give me a second. See that? They show you so-called whites now, today. Like, that's like 8 days ago. Right? Let me go back to the video. Let me show you. This is, you can't make this shit up, man. You can't make this shit up. You see that? Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit. Wait. Come on. The hell? You can't tell me that's a white person, so-called whites. That one might. You see this one right here? Right there, right there. Come on, man. Come on. This one might. Come on, man.
We ain't here. When do we want it?
See that? Big difference. Big difference. They show you the camera from far away. This one, they show you close.
This is the dust that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. You know what? Let me just read the scripture. I got one scripture. Yeah, you said that right there. Like, you put the finger up right there. Yeah, hold that finger up. Hold that. It's Obadiah and 10. Just to get to the point. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And it's begun. It has begun. I'll play a little bit more of this cry. Now Esau, Edom is going to cry. See, you need help. Help us.
Floats around. I just took this off my car.
In 2005, members of the Ponca tribe of Oklahoma and nearby landowners filed a class action lawsuit against Continental Carbon, claiming the black soot was causing pollution and health concerns.
But meanwhile, all this time that they have lost cattle, the land was being poisoned, you know, and Jake has been being poisoned. Ain't nobody say nothing. Jake had to make his own, like I think it was last year, Jake had to come out in mass protest, man, because the news wouldn't do anything. But now they doing it for these Edomites.
DEQ records from 2003 show that the facility had a, quote, long history of pollution complaints associated with emissions of carbon black dust.
If this was done
Wait a second. Since when? Wait a second. Oh, February 28, 1998? And you're going to tell me now because these Edomites, so-called white people, are complaining, now you want to come out and say something in the news? Shame on you, bro. Shame on you. You shall pay for that, man.
If this was done any other neighborhood, in a white neighborhood or a higher class neighborhood, something would have been done a long time ago.
Stupid. You know what?
$0.5 million to settle that lawsuit.
To whom?
But I knew that you could file like a class. But I knew that you could file.
Shut up.
But I knew.
Shut up.
Company paid.
In a white neighborhood or a higher class neighborhood, something would have been done a long time ago.
The company paid $10.5 million to settle that lawsuit.
To whom?
But I knew that you could file like a class action, and I did file with that. But I also was told that since I did file, if I ever was to sell my home, I would have to disclose the black that was in the ground. So that means I'm losing my value on my property from that.
For Carla, the problem...
Yeah, you see how she wants to... She don't want to tell nobody about the poison that's in the area. She wants to sell it to someone, you know, a native or so-called black, you know, naive, that don't know nothing. Devils. I mean, what else would she want to do if she say the things that she's saying? You disclosing it because you have poison, but she would want to lie about it. Devils.
Cited for a while after that, but now she says history seems to be repeating.
Thinking back to the early 2000s when you first saw this, to you it looked like the same.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. It looks like the very same thing.
Earlier this year.
And it's too bad that she didn't say nothing about the lawsuit, because Jake tried to do a lawsuit and the courts threw it out, man. And that was going on for like a year or something, and the courts dismissed it, man.
Here, the Ponca tribe and the city filed a joint resolution vowing to find where that black dust is coming from.
Those of us that were here in Ponca City when that happened in 2006, we know where it comes from.
KOCO reached out to Continental Carbon for comment, but the company has remained quiet.
I'd like to recognize the Vice President here of Continental Carbon. I believe he has prepared a statement, not a mandatory statement, but he was ready to speak.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
You don't want to.
Okay. No, I don't think they're going to at this time. So.
Like complaints to the DEQ, residents in town say the source of the material is the worst kept secret.
Yeah, the worst kept secret. Yeah, okay.
Secret in Ponca City.
It's been going on since we was out of there. You can drive by and you can tell if it's blowing out.
You can see it.
It's still blowing out.
Yeah.
Maybe not as bad as when we were in there, but it's still blowing out.
Ray, David, Marvin, and Travis were union workers at Continental Carbon for decades, seeing firsthand how easily carbon black can spread.
You can take a small container, you could cover this whole floor and half this house with it.
And seeing what went on inside and outside the plant.
On the concrete, you had to wash it down.
Yeah.
Into drains.
Yeah.
God knows where the drains went.
Yeah. To the river.
Well, the Jake families, you go ask those Jakes what they suffering from. Go do some tests, you know, and oh man, we all know where it went and where they pushing that garbage to.
Well, they went to the river.
Yeah. To the
And then to the river.
Yeah.
To the river.
Arkansas.
Where those tribes take their cattle to drink water.
River right next to the plant.
Just across the street from the plant, the Arkansas River flows. Court records from 2005 show that the union and the Ponca tribe accused the company of polluting groundwater that drains into the Arkansas River. The company filed a motion to dismiss the complaint, claiming the DEQ had already taken action to resolve the issue. Continental Carbon agreed to implement a groundwater monitoring plan.
The company has a number of notices of violation. They're also on a couple of consent orders. They are in compliance with the consent orders.
For years, they say their jobs inside the plant were pleasant. But when the plant sold to the Chinese Synthetic Rubber Corporation, a Taiwanese parent company, in 1995, complaints began to pile up from the union and the community.
And that's when things began to go cheap.
Today, trees outside the plant are stained black. They're typically vibrant colors, now muted. And it's not just environmental concerns. Residents say the town is riddled with health issues. The 2005 lawsuit filed on behalf of the Ponca tribe said that repeated exposure to carbon black can cause health problems, including respiratory issues and cancers. Ponca City is home to several industrial sites, including an oil refinery that sits across the street from Continental Carbon. The Environmental Justice Screening Mapping tool shows that Ponca City is in the 96th percentile for toxic releases to the air. That is 5 times higher than the state average, though there have been no findings of any connection between these health issues.
No, of course not. That's why Yahweh Shem Yahushua has to step in, because you'll never find yourself guilty. Obadiah 10, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And again, this is the beginnings of you being cut off, because Jacob stands for the 12 tribes of Israel.
And Continental Carbon.
I know we have a lot of cancer in Ponca City. My husband had esophageal cancer. I recently had lung cancer back in 2023.
And I'm just pushing this on the news because these gutter rats, man, and Esau Edom, man, they never show you the truth. All right, they just show you a couple of white Edomites that are suffering. But what happens to Jake?
My father-in-law had myasthenia gravis. They just live a half a mile down north of me, and so my neighbor had